Welcome to another episode of But Actually Decent. Sorry, I'm busy.
That was smooth.
I'm Adrian.
I am Danae.
And this is But
Actually,
Decent. The
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 podcast.
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 Dang, that was the best one yet.
That was really good. I
Yeah.
usually
Yeah,
rush to
match.
say it after. Yeah,
The
but,
podcast.
the podcast. How y'all doing, man? What's going on?
I am good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Good day.
It's kind of cool to see this below. Look at that stuff below. Go
Ooh.
ahead, subscribe, follow, share,
Follow me.
put it
Come
in your
follow me.
stories, do all
Do
of
all
those
that.
things.
Come follow
And
me.
it's
That's
right
where
there.
you can
But
find us.
Yes.
yeah, exactly. And that's gonna be on the whole episode,
Oh,
which
look
is
at us.
phenomenal. I love that.
That's
That makes our
fire.
job
Yeah,
very much easier
Yeah.
very.
for sure. Let's get into weekends. Nate, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. On Friday, went to go see MJB along
The one
with
and only.
8. And the boots was out. Okay.
They
I was
I know
was
talking
that's right.
out.
I talked to somebody on the phone earlier. He was like, I drove by there. I was wondering why everybody had on boots.
It was so much leather.
There was lots of leather,
Oh, it was
lots
so
of
much leather.
ties.
A lot
But
of booties.
I loved it. Me
Mm-hmm.
and 8 went together.
Mm-hmm.
Had a good old time
Yeah.
down to the United Center. I know I did a what y'all mad about when it comes to the United Center and their concession situation. That ain't even what I'm gonna touch this week. But they need to fix the parking. I mean, not the parking, the Uber corral.
Oh,
Mm.
That was Friday. Saturday, I forgot that it was St. Pat's weekend, and I went to go get my lashes done, and I thought I was gonna go get me a waffle, and it was
from
early.
where?
Waffles.
Oh,
You know
Michigan.
waffles.
Michigan.
They have a few locations. This one is on
Mm.
Madison,
Okay.
and I went in there, and it was jam packed with loud noises and individuals, and I just was like, "Nah, no." I should be able to just grab. It seemed like they were backed up. It took, I mean, whatever. I was able to get it and it went down well. So I enjoyed it. The rest of my
That's
day I
good.
spent cleaning up. And then Sunday, I didn't do a thing. I caught up on a
Mm.
whole bunch of work. But
Mm.
that was all from a horizontal position. I didn't leave my room on Sunday. And that
Sometimes you don't need to.
I
Yeah.
didn't even need to. I
Yeah.
just was on the latter half of the home and I was comfy.
I love that.
So that was my
As you
weekend.
should be.
I love that. I love that.
B.
8, how about me? I'm next. All
Yeah.
right. My weekend, Friday. I can't remember what I did Friday, but Saturday we spent time with our aunt, which is always really, really nice. Spend time with your people.
Mhm.
I remember growing up and looking at my parents, or specifically like my mom, and her being like, "Oh yeah, this is my aunt, so and so," and I just didn't understand that connection and stuff until I got older and you start hanging with your uncles and your aunties. You like, oh, this is that same thing, because that would have made them my great aunties, and by that time
Mhm.
they're older. You know what I'm saying. You don't get things when you're younger, but yeah, so yeah, that was cool. Then Sunday went to church and then came home. We had some Chinese food, which I be against, not the Chinese food, but the fact that that's not a Sunday dinner. That ain't no Sunday
Mhm.
dinner. Sunday dinner is something fried, some greens, or a steak. Chinese
Mm.
food ain't really
Hardy.
Sunday dinner. Something hearty,
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but
Something
hey.
fried.
Fried that and laid to the side. No. Yeah, the Chinese food was cool though. It was cool. So
What do
we
y'all
had
get from
Chinese.
the Chinese food place? What's y'all think?
We get a lot of different stuff. So like my wife, what did she get? She got orange chicken, and then I got like beef, like pepper steak. But then I was eating a lot of her orange chicken because it was like really good. So
Mm.
yeah. So we be getting that. She be getting like crab rangoon and whatnot. I don't really like crab rangoon. It's a little too sweet.
What?
Really?
And the onion
What's wrong
kind of
with
throws me off too. I'll be cool on crab rangoon for real. But I do like a
that?
good egg roll, spring roll. Ain't never hurt
Y'all don't do
nobody.
chicken wings?
Oh,
I like chicken wings
Yeah.
I like chicken wings from this one spot, which I like. But did y'all wait? Hold on. Did y'all know on the East Coast, like they be getting chicken wings from like the Chinese spot, like all the time? Like that's where they get
With
chicken
duck
wings
sauce.
from.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Uh-huh.
it ain't no obviously it ain't no heroes, but like even if it was like that's where they would get chicken wings
That's
from.
they
I
get
just
the yeah.
that's crazy to me, you know.
That's
Hey,
one thing black people don't play about Chinese food. Where we get our
yeah,
Chinese food from.
You
Because
got because you have to have a place.
you have a place
Yeah.
and they make
yeah,
the rice the way you like it. Because I
Mhm.
remember one time I had some yellow rice and I was like, this is not
yeah.
this ain't right.
It's a
Yellow
place in
rice.
Homewood.
Yeah. It's a place in Richmond Park. I was like, what is this? Ugh.
When
Never
we
went
wait,
back.
I gotta tell this story real quick because when we was going to the one in Homewood, they right across the street from it's A to Z nails, but their font it just look like ass nails. I'm like, y'all need
They did not think that out.
Eight. How was your weekend?
uh, my weekend was good. My weekend was good. Like Danae said, we went to see Mary on Friday, which was a good time. A really good
Yeah,
time. I
much
enjoyed
needed.
it. I was like, this is good. So we did that on Friday. Then Saturday, I went to my sister's house. She had a vision board party. So it was just the siblings and like a couple of our friends. And we did that. And but like Saturday morning, I was like, when I came, because I spent the night at Danae's, and then I came home and like got in the shower. And I was like, I just want to lay. I don't want to do nothing. I still
Yeah,
don't have
because
a
you
TV
got up
set
at
up.
the ass crack of dawn.
I did, and I was just like, I should. Yeah, I was like taking out
It's
garbage at 7
3 o'clock. What's
o'clock in
going
the morning.
on?
No, like for
What are
real, it
you
was like
doing?
6 o'clock
Lay
for
down.
real.
Lay
It
down.
it was super early. I was like packing, like, okay, I can get up, got a good move on. I went to breakfast, like it was a it was a whole thing, and then Sunday just went to church and went to see my grandmother who was in the hospital, but she went home today, and
That's
Ooh.
so I'm happy
wonderful.
about that. Then my little cousin was here from Hampton, and so we had like a family bowling thing. So I went there and went to the grocery store. No, I went to the grocery store after seeing my grandmother. Then I went bowling. Then I came home. And then I went to work to be there at 5 o'clock this morning. So it has been going, but it's been good. It's been good. It's been
Yeah.
good. It's been good.
That's the definition of life, though. Like making those memories and all
Yeah.
of that good stuff. You know, if you ain't on the move, then what you is? You know what I'm saying?
What you eat?
Horizontal.
What you is horizontal.
What
And that's
I
a
is.
yeah.
What I is.
What I
Indeed.
is. I ain't mad at that, but I tell you what we are mad at. Nay, what you got?
Come on, be one of things.
Ooh, right. Look at that. Right, right. I just feel well, let me just ask y'all. Are y'all receiving an ungodly amount of spam calls right now?
Not spam calls, but spam text for sure.
Both for me.
What is that about? I thought that it was political, and I thought once the election
Mm-hmm.
was over,
They
it
would
would die
cease.
down. It feels like it has ramped up. Like, I'm not a person that keeps notifications on my phone. They bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even keep up with it because that's how many
That's
spam calls
crazy.
I'm getting. And they leave voicemails. And the what's it called? Virtual voicemail or whatever. And I'm like,
Oh
all of
yeah.
y'all are working together.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all in cahoots because it's the same company. And like, ain't nobody calling me from Delaware. Ain't
Right.
nobody calling me from Montana. Ain't like they
French
are
is not calling me.
French is not. They are relentless. It's like you block them, that don't stop. Like
Right.
it's not even not even selective to weekdays, times. They call you on Sunday. They call
It's a
you first thing in
cabal
the
for real.
morning. What is this and how can I get off of whatever list there is? And I know that like it's just a part of it, but like it seems excessive right now. It seems over the top. And it bothers me because you like people don't call anymore, right? But when your phone ring, you like, oh,
Right.
no,
Right.
it's
Line
New Hampshire.
dry.
Somebody
Right.
calling from New Hampshire. It's somebody
Yeah.
calling from random places, or like even the ones that's like from another country where the number it's not even enough numbers on there, or like it's got the country code.
Plus
Alone.
30467 that or some craziness
It
like
pisses
that.
me off every single time, and I need them to stop it.
I got an email today at work that said, we have some news about someone that resembles your name.
No.
And we wanted to know what you wanted to do with their riches or something like that. I was just like,
Resembles my name.
exactly. And that was at work. And I was like, what? Whatever.
And we have this thing that they made us like put on our computers to like for not ad blockers, but like spam blocker or whatever. Yeah. And they send like test emails to make sure that and we talked about that once before, B, but like,
boy, what?
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Just stop trying to catch me up. I don't want to deal with it in my personal and my professional life.
Have y'all ever got caught up?
I for sure did.
Yeah.
All right.
I did one.
I did
one.
What?
I was like, oh.
I was blue too. I'm like, bruh, y'all done got me. I had to do a training and everything.
Yeah, I had to do an initial training, but I don't think I've had any. I ain't been told that I missed any yet. I recognize them when they come and I click on the thing. I don't know what happens after that, but hey, I did what I was supposed to do. But I just need them calls and those texts and those emails and just all of the soliciting to stop. We don't want it. I don't want Hilton, whatever vacations you got. I don't want to sign up for the $100,000 loan that you claim I need.
Right.
Stop.
That's how they be catching me up. I'd be like, "Oh, that sounds kind of nice." Where's Punta Cana?
Yeah.
Right. Punta Dominican. Wait, that ain't even a country. Wait a minute.
You're gonna be on Chilligan's Island.
Right. Chicken hot tip.
Chicken hot tip.
That is so funny.
I don't like it. Fix it.
Yeah, that is.
I don't like it. Fix it. Yeah, I heard that. It'd be like that. My BZ offers wisdom. I was watching a show earlier called The Boys, which is a crazy show on Amazon Prime. If you like gory, action, all it, then that's your show. If you don't watch that show. But anyway, in the end, one of the girls said she's a superhero. It's about superheroes. And she was like, I just want to end this all because I hit you, then you hit me back, then you get my kids, then it's a whole thing. And she said, sometimes in order to win the game, you got to know not to even play the game. And that just really spoke to me because some things we can get like caught up in, which we shouldn't have been caught up in the first place. And we should just know not to even play the game. One thing that comes to mind is if you know that you got a little competitive spirit, maybe gambling is not for you. You shouldn't even dip your toe in that water at all. Because that's how people lose their homes, relationships. And it's like, it'll be up in smoke real quick. So don't even play that game. Whatever game, and that's my easy offers wisdom. Don't even,
If you ain't got no hands, why do you even get in that fight?
Run up, get down up. Yeah,
right,
no, exactly.
Because we rock a stilettos, huh?
That is funny.
So, in honor of Women's History Month, we're gonna hand it over to Adrian, who's not a woman, but who's talking about
why are we on the subject? And I know it's Women's History Month, and happy Women's History to every woman,
Yeah.
happy.
Gotcha.
WHM. But then that wasn't for you to say.
I'm
You really
sorry.
could have managed your business.
I was
You
trying
could
to
have.
be. I was trying to be V103 like V.
That's your problem.
I was trying to smooth us
Yeah.
right into
What was
it.
her name on Martin that was in love with Stan? She was on the she was on Living Single too, I think. What's
Oh
her name?
yeah, Regine
Remember?
she was, but I
And
remember what you're talking about.
Stan was like, I like my women fat and ugly.
Damn.
But yeah,
Damn.
so as Danae said, this episode is dedicated to the power and the strength of a woman. And
Strength.
I just want to say, y'all be that girl, even in the Bible. Well, that's where it started. But so I wanted to go through the book of Esther. And I just want to share the story according to Adrian. And it's so much drama in this. Like, we love the book of Proverbs, and that where God is saying this in this one chapter, or this chapter of the Bible. God was not mentioned at all in this, and so that's always a thing, because of course there's so many rabbit holes you can go down with find information on that. So I haven't even gotten to a point where I could say, oh, okay, because I'm like, well, what about this, what about that? So but God's not mentioned in this. But like when you hear like the way that, like, especially the Message Bible like describes certain scenarios and stuff, you just like, I mean, but that had to be God. You ever been like in that way? It was like that just has to be God kind of thing. So I just want to share this with y'all because Big Esther is not to be played with, and she's Big Esther's that girl, and I just want to share this with you. So I'm really excited about it. I've been, because it came up in church like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, I need to finish 2 weeks ago. I was like, I need to finish it, but I hadn't finished it. So then Melinda was talking about it, and she like, wait till you finish it. This. So I finally sat down and finished it, and I was like, wait, what? So I just want to take y'all on a journey. So buckle your seatbelts and let's go through the Book of Esther. So, the Book of Esther is believed to have taken place like 100 years after the Babylonian exile. So where all of like the Jews were like relocated, like uprooted to a whole new place and told to believe this and do that, which sounds familiar. So that was a thing. So that was the setting for Esther. So then there's a few characters in the story that just has some crazy roles, and I just want to take you guys through a one-on-one with this person. So I believe his name is pronounced Xerxes. It's Xerxes. Let's just say Xerxes, and if I'm messing it up, my bad, king. But he was the king, and he was
My bad, king.
Yeah, my bad, king. But he really was the king. But like he was known to be like self-indulgent and like cruel, and he was like a womanizer. Like we hear womanizer, and you can think about like modern day, like he be messing around with this. But like when I say the things that the queen had to go through to just be the queen, like it wasn't like, oh, we went to school together, we're gonna play on, and then I like you. No, you had to go through like a beauty camp. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, so I want to describe this. So this was King Xerxes, I hope I'm saying that right. But he basically was like that guy, that flamboyant guy, and so he had a party. Y'all, this party was 6 months. 6 months. This party was 6 months, and when I tell you 10-star ratings all the way through, like he had.
You brought the city out.
I mean, like legit. And they wouldn't even stand at like the Doubletree or nothing. They was staying at like the Viceroy. Like they was like doing their thing. So he had this big party, and he was like kicking it, and they was drinking, because of course they would drink. You were drinking out of like gold cups, and everyone was custom made. Yeah, like you were not having like bare feet. You were having like a I think they described it as like a royal wine or something, and it was like bottomless, like legit bottomless. So you were just drinking and doing your thing. So then in the story, the king sent for Vashti. Now he had this party, but it was like, although that's his wife, that's the queen, she wasn't invited to the party. It wasn't for her. And when I send for you is when I want you to come. And so that's what was happening. The party was happening. He getting drunk. He feeling himself. It's the end of the 6 months. And 6 months that he hasn't seen his wife, but he sent for her. And so she was like, no, I'm not going. He sent like, let's just say 6 bodyguards to her room. And she was having a party. Now, some said that it was a party for only women. Someone saying that Vashti was just like, she just being disobedient. She just wasn't doing, like, it was a bunch of different interpretations. But so Vashti didn't go. And so then the king guys went back and they were like, she said she's not coming. And so he was pissed. Like, pissed to the point, like, okay, she don't want to come. She ain't queen no more. Wait, what? Like that quick. He just was like super pissed. And so he was like, she's not queen no more. So then word got back to her. So then like the next day he wake up, and I just play it out like they was at a party. He was lit. So the next day he ain't quite got a hangover, but he looking at his Instagram story, just to see how he was acting crazy. So he was thinking about the day or whatever. And so he like, okay, now I done let my wife go. I'm lonely. What's gonna happen? So he's talking to his YN. So his little homies out there, they like, okay, you know what? It's time for us to find you somebody. So now they like, we're gonna put you on. We go.
Wait, didn't he just get rid of the wife last night?
Danae, are you listening to when I say he gonna play around? Like he literally was like, okay, Monday, all right, you go on Tuesday. Okay, so I got a Facebook dating page. I'm about to do this. So he back outside. He's only
back outside
beautiful virgins, and they just go, and so they have like a whole American Idol audition, and everybody coming, and so they come to this thing. So get this, y'all. When I say he was just like that dude, like he was. I mean, again, he's king, but his thing was, okay, so if you're going to be queen, now he's looking for this queen. They had to go through a 12-month beauty camp. So in this beauty camp, 6 months were with myrrh and oil treatments. Who knows how deep that can go? And then the other 6 months were with perfumes and cosmetics. That's all you did for a year to only get in the runnings to be the queen. So after this 12 month, now this is in Susa or whatever. So what's happening is the Jews, of course, they were taken away and they were displaced and all this other stuff. So some of them are there, but of course they have different beliefs, so they don't roll with things. So that's Vashti, that's Xerxes. I want to make sure I cover the bases. So then we are getting to the point where he comes in contact with Esther. So that's the process or whatever with the beauty camps and all that. So now Esther comes in, and so Haggai, he's like over the women. So he making sure everybody getting they routines right, doing their stuff. This is all happening. So he just took a liking to Esther. Like he just like, you know what, you're her. So like instantly he clicked with her. She ended up getting like 7 maids. They were in the nicest rooms. She didn't, because you could request whatever you want when you go to the king. She just went with whatever they suggested. She kept a real low profile. She like, I'm just gonna do this essentially. But
that's how they like them.
That she did not put up a fight. She wasn't saying, "Can I get gold?" She was like, "I mean, okay, all right, cool. I could just do it." So that's what she did. So she's in the running. She's beautiful. She's a virgin. She's this girl. Now a backstory with her. She's a Jew. So of the Jews, there'll come a time in the story where they be trying to get rid of them. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind. So she's a Jew, but she's going to this meeting that he's having. So they all take to her, and Hagar, he's like, give her these maids and all this other stuff. So then she gets to the king, and they said he fell in love with her far more than the other girls. Now he have hundreds of thousands of virgins, but this Jew, who both her parents are dead, she was adopted by her cousin, who's named Mordecai. And Mordecai is like another guy I'll describe next. So she was adopted by him. So she came into this thing. She did not say, "Hey, I'm a Jew. We were displaced." Da da da. She just kept it cool. She kept it cool. She was beautiful and did her thing. So the king fell in love with her. He like, okay, you know what? I'm about to give you a crown. I'm about to wife you up. You're her. Blah blah blah. So she's like that girl, like ultimate. That like she went from being adopted with her cousin and just barely making it to being like that girl. So then that all happened. So she's her or whatever. So Mordecai, that's her cousin. Now Mordecai, he is a Jew and he does not like bow down to their gods and that kind of thing. So he's one of those. So he was, putting her in a position like, don't, this ain't for you to go in there and say, hey, I'm a Jew, to just be cool. So that's where she got that mindset from, which is how it played out. So Mordecai was going and just finding out whatever she was doing. So then they got word that it was time for her to go up to the king. And again, he was able to get like communication with her, to just tell her to just be cool and it's the purpose for this and all of this stuff or whatever. And so she goes, king falls in love, she's that girl. So then Haman, who is the king's right hand command, he's like the king's guy, and so he want to be that guy. Like he's so shady, he like have it out for people, just ill will. He's dirty, and so he had a problem with Mordecai, which is Esther's cousin, not bowing down to him. So when he saw that, he like, this dude just don't care. He disrespectful. He right outside the king's court. He's not doing this. We need to get rid of him. So then Haman goes to his people and he tell them what's going on. So they decide they want to build a a wall 75 feet high next to Haman's house, because now Mordecai, you're not going to bow down, so we're going to kill you. And so now we built the wall. So now we just got to get the clearance from the king, which is Esther's man. Mordecai is Esther's cousin. So they built the wall. So they said, once we get the okay from the king, because Haman is the right hand man, he's going to say, yeah. So once we get that, then we can hang him. So they said, okay, so you need to go and talk to the king about that. So the king he's there, and Esther comes there, I believe. Yeah, Esther comes there, and she has her wishes or whatever. And so he asks her, like, whatever you want, you can have half my kingdom, the world is yours, blah, blah, blah. So okay, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. There was a rule that Haman made for Mordecai to get killed. It got back to Esther. Esther found out about it. She's sending a message back and forth between her and Mordecai, who's outside the palace. He's telling her this will happen. Here's the bulletin that he made. This is what's going on. So now this is the time for Esther to now she has to show up. They don't know she's a Jew. They don't know. The king don't even really know this whole thing is happening. So now it's up to her. So now she got her whole tribe on her back, because if she doesn't get the king to dismiss this, then every Jew is going to get killed, including her. And so Mordecai let her know, like, I don't want you to think that you're going to be the only one to get away. Essentially, it's going to happen for us one way or another. He always had that faith, but he told her, if you don't show up, like you and your people, y'all going to be done. We'll be okay, but y'all are going to be done, because essentially you're in position for this for a reason, kind of thing. So she understands what's going on. So she said, okay, so here's what I'll do. Before I get to the king about this, we got to go on a fast. So they go on a 3-day fast. And once the 3-day fast is over, now mind you, up at this point, she hasn't been requested by the king for 30 days. So that was like a thing. You don't get to just sleep in the same bed. I'm the king. I'm so powerful. If you, as my wife, come to me without an appointment, there's a good chance that I could just totally dismantle you and you'll be like destroyed. Or I'll extend my gold scepter. Like, he was that guy. And so he was like the ultimate, like Teddy P or something. And so he extended his scepter when she came up there or whatever. And she told him that she wanted to have a dinner. So she knew that Haman made this law. So she set up a dinner with her, the king, and Haman. The king don't understand what's going on. Haman is like, wait, what's happening? So she's smooth with it. So she have this dinner, she feed them, she get them liquored up. And so the king say, what do you desire? What is it that you want? Because obviously this dinner is not it. She said, I want you guys to come back tomorrow for another dinner. And so they didn't go away. Hey man goes home. He's telling his people, I'm going to the private dinners. Da, 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 da. He thinking his plan is working and he gonna be able to get Mordecai killed. So then the king, they going back. So this is the day before the second dinner. So the king couldn't sleep. So he told them, can you give me so he had a daily journal. And every time something happened, it was documented. So he was reading it. So come to find out, Mordecai, who was always outside the king's ground, got word that 2 of the guards were plotting to kill the king. So he found out about that. He told Esther, who told King Xerxes, who then killed them or whatever. But it was documented, but he had forgot about it. So the guy was reading a journal to him, and they were like, yeah, because Mordecai did it. He said, what was done for Mordecai? Now, mind you, Mordecai, he's this close to being killed. The king said, what was done for Mordecai? And they were like, nothing was done for him. So now the king say, oh, I need to honor him. So this one man that was, they done built the wall to hang him next to, the ultimate jerk's house or whatever. So then at this point, Haman is going to the king to say, okay, so now can we kill him? They done built the wall already. They ready. So Haman going to the king. So then the king, before he even get him to say anything, he said, how should you honor a man? And so Haman was like, oh, he's talking about me. He said, so you should have everyone bow down to me or to this person. He didn't say him, to this person, the man that you want to honor. You should give him a royal robe and a royal horse that you rode, and let him be paraded around the town and say that this is what happens when the king favors you. Haman was saying all this stuff because he thought it was going to happen to him. He didn't know that the king found out that Mordecai saved his life and that he wanted to do this for Mordecai. This is the same person you want to kill. This is the same person you have a wall for. And now what you just told the king should happen to that man, you have to do. So he had to put the robe on Mordecai. He had to give Mordecai the horse. He had to parade Mordecai around the town past all his people to say, this is what happens when the king favors you and blah, blah, blah. Mordecai, of course, is like eating it up. So now Haman go back to his people. They say, if you think you going to kill him, he is the king's boy. Like, you're done. Like, essentially, you're done. And so now he gets all discombobulated, but he had to still go to this dinner. He goes to the dinner, and now this is where Esther is letting the dogs out. Because now, okay, so you're back. So now, while this whole time between one dinner to the next, Mordecai already was set free. Mordecai was already king, all this stuff. So Esther's thing was, we need to get rid of Haman, not knowing that it was already done for him anyway, because of how he felt about Mordecai, whatever. So Esther gets it set up to where essentially Haman gets killed. She gets his body hung over the wall that he built for Mordecai. His 10 sons, she had them killed and had their body displayed, and that was just a thing. All the Mordecai was taken from being almost killed to like the king of Haman's entire kingdom that he had. They gave it to Mordecai, and like the Jews were great, living happily after. But y'all, that was so much, and I finally got a chance to release it, but it's so much drama in the Bible, y'all, and it is legit like TV. And I'd be sitting there and I'd be like digging, because I like go through different versions or whatever, and I'm like, okay, so this is that, but I lost myself in the message on this, and I was like, Esther, like, what was her real friend saying? Like, when they saw her post on Facebook, like, what was they saying to her? Like, what, when they saw her wedding, what were they saying? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, Esther is that girl. She say, oh, you want to kill my people? I'm how you killed and your kids. You're not going to have a lineage. They're destroyed. All of them.
Right. Not just kids, the sons, though.
Literally. And I want them to hang over because you tried to kill my people. And she said it was a part of the story too, where she had to go to the king to request this, that these things be done to him, or to even approach him, period. And she said that in her mind, she was telling herself that I have to do this because if I die, I die. Like, I don't care what. And so it was like so many different gems in the book that lets you know, like, sometimes you gotta legit push through some shit. Like, that's just what it is. Like, Esther was in a place where she could have, and can you imagine if she said, nothing's wrong in my life. My entire life is perfect. I don't have to stand up for y'all. But she didn't forget her people. She didn't forget where she came from. She said, "Oh, okay, but before I do that, we gonna fast just to make sure you niggas ain't crazy." But she showed up in every way, and it was just so powerful because had she not done that thing, that could have been the end of life as she knew it, and the entire Jewish people as they knew it. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, we gotta stick with some stuff. It be hard. It don't make no sense, and we don't like it. But we gotta stick with stuff.
Yeah.
We have to.
I want
That's the deal.
so
Ask questions.
I have a follow up question.
Yes.
Not necessarily about Esther because we know what she did, but why do you guys think that it seemed like, I'm just bringing it to our time now, but like black celebrities and stuff like that, like for like 90s, 80s, 70s and stuff, it seemed like it was a lot more people like standing up for stuff versus now. What do you think was different? Why do y'all? Because it seemed like, because I even remember like Young Thug, somebody asked him, like, when all these police shootings was happening, and he's like, I mean, just let us have fun. We just rappers. Like, what are you saying? You know?
You mean like why don't leaders emerge in the same way that they did back in the day? Or like, I think people are just indifferent because there's only so many times that you're gonna see and hear um certain stuff happening before you just like, I mean, it's whatever. Like, I just gotta take care of me. I don't know. Like, that's a good question though. I don't think um people are quick to put themselves out there um in the same way that some of our poor folks would have done.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. Adrian, what do you think?
I think I remember one time at one of my old jobs, we were talking about like when you drop stuff on the floor. And I was like, some stuff, I feel like it depends on how long. I might rinse it off and I might keep it. And so my supervisor at the time was like, that's because that's just the time that we grew up in. And so I said that to say, like, at that time, they wanted something that our
I want
generation,
stuff.
no, for sure we do. But I think sometimes with our generation, we have, in a way, kind of been like, not my monkey, not my circus. Like, it didn't happen to me. I'm not. I think anyway that and sometimes we can have that kind of feeling about stuff, and so therefore we're not gonna stand up as much as it was where it was like, no, this has never happened for my people. We need to get it, opposed to us being in a, like we seen it happen, so we don't have to really fight as hard, kind of thing. I think.
Yeah.
I think
Just
what.
go ahead.
I was just
No,
gonna say,
you.
I think the other part to it too is like, we look at the people that did stand up and that unfortunately got killed, or their careers got killed, or it's like, why would I put myself in the same situation, which is a direct, like, that's exactly what they want you to do. They just want you to just kind of not stand up for anything and just like, you know.
So my question, kind of tying back to Esther, is like, because I heard the story and I have very basic knowledge of Esther. I asked someone that I live with about it, and he said, "Well, she's a baddie, and she was fine." That's all he could give me.
Yes.
Um, so is she heralded as like a heroine, like a hero, or somebody positive? Because I know that there are many stories in the Bible of women kind of being the opposite.
Okay.
And like, she saved her people.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I guess is she considered someone who stepped out of bounds as a woman?
No, she
Or
she showed what I got from it, and I don't know if this was just because this is what I was looking for, but she was looked at as like I said, that girl, like she had did a great deed, and she
Mm.
had showed that the importance of standing by your people and showing up for your people, and that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
that's what I take from it. But I can also see with somebody having a father and all 10 of his kids uh killed and their body just displayed, that I can see where that she could be looked at as an evil person. I can see that too. But I
Yeah.
think for the most part, what I'm taking from it is she did a good deed. She was that
Yeah.
girl, and she should be looked at as such. And the king was he okayed it. Everything she wanted. He everything. And especially with him, he thought about the fact that, wait, you want to kill the person that saved my life? Was how he looked at it. The king looked at it. So
Mm.
he was even mad when he was before Heyman was like Heyman. They like legit was like mid argument. It was like kill that nigga, like that kind of thing. So it was crazy. It was.
Was she like always protected because she was fine and attached to the king at a certain point?
Esther. So I feel in the beginning, it was just like the beautiful virgins came a dime a dozen. So
Mm.
it
Mm.
wasn't nothing that set her apart initially. You know what I mean? But once she got to the point where she was like going up to the king quarters and stuff like that, like people just started taking a liking to her. She was that girl, but like she hadn't had a chance
Did
to
they
like
know she
shine.
was a Jew? She was Jewish?
No, no,
Oh, okay.
no.
Gotcha.
She had to
And
keep it
so
a secret.
she never said anything. And
Mm.
it didn't really become a problem until Haman was mad that Mordecai didn't bow down, and then that's when he wanted to get all the Jews killed and stuff. But up until that point, I don't believe there was an issue where, I mean, granted the Jews were displaced or whatever, but there wasn't an issue with they just didn't like them, But she didn't go in saying that. She just kept it cool, and she slid right on up in that castle, and I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
So, what do you think we were supposed to learn from Heyman and his involvement? Like, what
I
did you?
I think for me that is can sometimes be that y'all ever heard the term shadow work,
Yes.
where
I've
it
heard
kind
of it.
of
I don't know
deals
what
with
it means though.
the way that I understand it, it just kind of shows you your dark side, like where you need to do work, like the part of you that's maybe selfish, or the part of you that's maybe,
Mm.
those traits that we don't like to talk about. And so it kind of shows you that. So I think maybe with Heyman, that maybe he was to show us that, like, be careful, because it's so easy to kind of like maybe become somebody that you don't want to be. Like, he had so much power. It was shown that his thing was, it's only going to be about what I want. Like, it's only
Mm.
that was his thought. So I feel like he was in the story to show us, to be that mirror for that part of us that we may not be happy about, or that may not show, and then be like, ooh, you might have to pay attention to that, because if you don't, you could possibly be like this. And you see what happened to him. They smoked that nigga. So we don't want
You
that.
s- you heard what happened to the last security guards. I think it's two lessons in that. Number one is just because it's legal doesn't mean it's moral, not morally right. Because she was standing up for something, it's like that's just because it can happen doesn't mean necessarily it should. And also, you are the villain in somebody's story.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Mhm.
not her, but his 10 kids got killed along with him. His 10 sons got killed along with him. His family's probably is like, hey, yo, like y'all praising this woman. I don't, yeah, which is very, very,
Yeah.
very interesting. That's why I like movies now where it's showing the gray area. I love a villain that got a real good reason. Show me the reason why he the villain. Don't just be
Yeah.
like he evil. We need to see the reason. It's like,
I
Mhm.
I can see where you're going with
I can
that. I
I
can
don't
see
Yeah.
know.
where
I'm
you're going with
kind
that.
of, I feel like the first for one of the first ones. I could be totally wrong, but was Killmonger. I think I said this in the previous podcast episode, but yeah, you
Who?
like Black Panther,
Black
the
Panther.
villain in yeah.
So would you rather see like know who the villain is and see their backstory, or be surprised about who the villain is at the end of the story?
Know the villain.
Yeah, I'd rather know the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Because
know.
life is not gray like that, it's very life is very colorful. And you're like, I don't know. He kind of had a point. I don't know.
Yeah, right? Okay.
You want to identify with the villain, basically.
I don't have to agree,
it's
but
more.
I can say,
I think
see where
it's
you're
more
coming from.
so knowing all the sides. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because if you also have to think, like, if somebody is telling you like this person is evil, why? Why are you saying that? Instead, I feel like we've been conditioned to be like, I mean, that's what they say. But why though? Why are they evil?
Yeah.
Which is
I
very
don't know.
interesting.
Just a random question that came to mind.
Yeah, for sure. So
Any
do
more?
y'all think it's safe to assume that you always look like a villain in someone's story?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
What do you do with that?
you can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Unless I feel like, okay, I'm gonna take that back. Let me take that back. If 10 different people said that you were a villain, so and there you are the villain in their story, then it's like, all right, maybe I gotta look at myself, because what exactly was I doing? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can't be wrong, especially if they span like this person's from church, this person's from work, this person's from the grocery store, this person's from the gas station, and they all say that you're evil, then it might have some truth to it.
You might just be stank, bro.
Yeah, it might be you.
Yeah.
But honestly, sometimes it's kind of necessary to not be such a nice person or push over or whatever, and how that other person may let me show you. Yeah, how that other person has to deal with that, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? But just because you're evil in somebody else's story doesn't mean that you're inherently evil. You know what I'm saying? So it's like perspective shift.
Yeah.
You just gotta and you really have to be okay with who you are, minus what people may say about you, because everybody got a skewed view of you.
I think I really appreciate this conversation because, and I still feel how I feel about Esther, but like hearing this, I'm like, wait a minute. I could see how she, like, I didn't think, I just was looking at it as, she's standing up for her people. But understand, like you said, everything that, although it could happen, it shouldn't happen. Like,
I mean, because technically she was somewhere she wasn't supposed to be.
And what's that lady name that was it was that Netflix special? She was a lie and was getting all that money and free hotel stays and all that, and they took her to court.
I don't know.
And she was dressing like super nice for every. What was that?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So maybe she was giving that
Anna somebody.
Yeah, Anna just. I mean, Esther just kept it. She just kept it real, real cute. She ain't gonna say too much.
Yeah, I mean, also, especially when it comes to war and people against people and stuff, it ain't no killing without some more killing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. My family didn't feel like this way out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's the I gotta get you before you get me mentality.
Type of thing. So especially those So yeah.
Because just to go back, that I got to get you before you give me thing. Like legit. So I see why Esther did what she did, because had she not, she would have been like gotten before she was able to get him.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, it's just clicking, and this is. I don't want to be a villain in nobody's story. I ain't been able to let that
That's
go.
impossible. You're going
I
to
ain't been able
Yeah,
to
be.
that
let that
ain't.
go, y'all. That's
Yeah,
my truth. I just
yeah.
wanted to say that. I just wanted to release it. I don't like how that feel.
Okay.
I don't like. I don't like it.
I'm glad you were able to release it, but I need you to release that feeling though, because I mean it's inevitable, and you really gotta, you gotta be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because there's some people, some people are very interesting just in how they grew up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's literally
There's
nothing that you would do, nothing that
right.
you could do to even like make them understand you.
Yeah.
It's
Right. And
totally out
and
of
I
your.
think sometimes people go through stages where it don't matter what it is. It don't matter who it
No.
is. It don't
Yeah.
matter how it come. It's just not going to have somewhere soft to land. It's not going to have
Mhm.
something. It's never. No matter what you do, it may not be received well. And
Mhm.
those kind of people, um, I think that's only a stage for people. I don't know. I don't personally know anybody, or I know of any situations where somebody you just stay mad. You don't never like. It's
Mhm.
nothing that is pleasing to you, even if it's. And this is taking it far, but like some people are very very pleased with a drug habit. Like,
Mhm.
and that's not necessarily something that.
Like you don't even love crack.
Right, right. Like, dang, you don't even love whatever, but I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it's not to be critical of you, but like, you shouldn't want to please everybody because if that was the case,
That's also true.
yeah,
I
Mm.
never thought about
You
that.
shouldn't want to please that. Wow,
yeah,
that's yeah. Everybody's not deserving.
yeah.
Wow.
I thought I was gonna be able to walk away from this saying, "Whew, I ain't gotta think about that
Mm-mm.
no more." Now I got so much more to think
That's
about.
That's life.
Wow, but I love
That's
it
life.
though.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Well, thank you
I hope
for
y'all enjoyed my Esther
sharing.
overload. I still ain't get through my. I still got. I got so much stuff left.
That's
Mm.
funny.
So maybe we revisit it. Maybe this will give us time to go and read up and have more to contribute to the conversation,
Yeah, because I feel
and
like I
also
bet
just
you we'll all get
perspective.
something different. Yeah.
Exactly. Three different perspectives on the same piece of literature.
Yeah. And
So we what y'all got going on this weekend or the rest of this week? Anything special?
I'm gonna play some beer whist.
you know how to play
I feel like
Midwest?
What?
I feel like you real grown. You play some beer whist. You play
You know
some.
how to play bid?
Wait. You can't even say beer whist. Right. You gotta say I'm gonna play
Yeah.
Some
some
bid.
beer this weekend. I'm play some
Right.
beer.
Are you
So
being for real?
You
I
in a
know.
tournament?
So look, I know how to play bid, but like I never sat down and played it live. Cause as a black person, it's never a good time to learn spades. It's never a good time to learn bid. You just gotta know how to play
You better
already.
read up on it.
My
You better
grandma
That
come
don't
said she
help
gonna
prepared.
you.
teach
That
me. My
don't help
grandma.
you.
Oh, would
Y'all
y'all
going
come with me to
upstairs or
my grandma's house
downstairs?
to a bid was training class?
You said wait, say that again.
Would y'all
Yeah.
come with me to my grandma's house too? Cause she'll teach us. She already told me she'll teach me. I just gotta bring people. So I could bring 1, 2, 3. I can get my
Bring
yeah.
one
She
Oh
more.
my
she'll be
god.
4. She'll be
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit
4.
before.
Oh, y'all will come for real.
Oh yeah,
I
for
would.
sure. I gotta
Yeah.
I
Okay.
gotta learn how to. I'm good with spades, but bid, I feel like a 9-year-old. Like, get up out of here,
I,
boy.
I
You
don't
ain't
even know
finna.
how to play. I
I
don't
was
even
taught
know.
at one point and I forgot because it's like the kitty and
Yeah,
it's the you can change
yeah.
the yeah, it's
It's like spades on steroids. That's all it is, really. You picking the high cards. So if you got a lot of
right.
hearts, then you could pick hearts, and then you could say it could be high or low. So ace is high, or the 2 is high, and the 3 is the high. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Hmm.
So
So I'm really
yeah,
confused. Are you actually playing Bid this weekend?
yes, my
That's my
aunt.
question. Y'all kept talking over me. I'm like, no one cares about me. I really want to know this. So
Yeah,
you're
for
for
sure.
real.
Yeah. So we're going. So our aunt invited us. She said, "Come back to the house. We're gonna play some bid." I said, "Nah, auntie, I don't really know how to play bid.
You just
Like,
gotta
kind of, sort
watch.
of." And then she was like, "Oh no, that's okay, baby. We'll teach you. That's fine." So
She
I was
lying.
like, "Man,
She gonna take all your money if y'all
Do
playing
they
for money.
drink? Do they
I ain't
drink at
playing
this
for them.
gig?
Yeah, they drink. Yeah,
Oh, see, that's gonna be a different. You're gonna get a different version.
that's the
Yeah.
best way to learn how to play. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got to
I
get
done
cussed
seen
out a couple
somebody almost
times.
get killed.
Oh
I
Oh,
mean,
no.
it
pity
gets
pat. I say,
Not
it's
really.
and let me tell you,
Deuce's wild.
that ain't had nothing to do with pity pat. Let me just put that out.
No, that was
That
built
didn't
up
have.
anger.
Yeah,
Y'all
that
think
was pent
so?
up.
They
Yeah,
said
That was
it's
that's
somebody
because
waiting for an opportunity.
exactly. And you know what? That is so funny because I was just telling my wife when I was growing up, my parents, like, if we go hang out with, like, you know, somebody else, another family or something like that, every single time, or we have people, our family over Thanksgiving, Christmas, every single time, my dad would say, we had a good time, wasn't no alcohol, wasn't no weed involved. So when I grew up, I thought anybody that had a glass of wine would turn
Just-
violent. Like, yeah. Right. Who ate the last chicken wing? Yeah. So, and then I grew up, and then I was like, and so that's what just kind of to the point of somebody, you saw somebody almost get killed over pity. That ain't had nothing to do with pity pat. People that want to fight off the alcohol, that ain't had nothing to do with the alcohol, really. They just really want to fight.
yeah.
yeah. And then there's my family. We ain't gonna have nothing. We gonna have us a bar. Okay. We got 2 chicken wings for 17 people. No, we ain't never gonna have that either. But we gonna have a bar.
I be like, Danae, you said it's gonna be 10 people. Why y'all get 4 pans of chicken?
Right.
Like,
That's what
why?
we do. We
Y'all
gonna
want to take a
get
plate
pan of
home? That is
chicken.
not a plate. That's a whole
No.
pan of chicken.
At this point, I bring my own Tupperware. That's just part of the night. Bring your
I've never
Tupperware.
been to a
Pack it
event at
up.
your family that it wasn't like that ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even when I took pictures, you was like, "You want to take something home? We got like 3,000 pieces of catfish. You
You
sure
want a cake? A whole cake? No,
That's
Grandma.
what
I just take a
That's
slice.
what we do. That's what we do, child.
Nah,
The
it's funny.
BYOB, everybody is YOB. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. That's
Do y'all
nice,
see
generous
how we
family.
just shift in
Yeah.
conversation?
I mean, Bible,
It's a skill. It is
Bus
a
Bottles.
skill.
right?
It is a skill. I
From
love
Bible to bottles.
it.
That could be the name of our episode.
Not like
From
that.
the Bible to the
That's
bottle.
nice.
Well,
And
all right,
also,
child.
pastors
Oh,
should,
oh, sorry.
get into it a little bit. You want people to come, have a little mimosa or something. I don't know. Maybe. A little brunch and Bibles and bottles. A little bit. Why y'all got your mouth
I
open? Fellowship already did it. They just ain't
they
really say,
you
you
can't be
know.
saying names. You cannot be saying names
I'll
on our
pull up the
platform.
flyer. I don't care. I remember it had a mimosa in the. Okay, anyway.
Oh
Anyway.
wow.
Now y'all want to cancel me.
I ain't touching that. I ain't touching that. Hey, all right. So if don't nobody else have any more
Not Brian. You need to take his mic off.
right.
You need to get drunk at church. No.
Right. Look. No.
Somebody mute.
All right. No.
Good.
Right. Well, thank you,
This
Adrian.
is fun, y'all. Y'all
for
are
this
crazy.
combo. And I guess we will see, hear, and speak to and communicate with our listeners next week when we come on back. We don't really use the bad no more. We are the bad podcast, aka But Actually Decent.
Yes.
But we really good.
We are. We but actually, I love that.
Be actually decent with us.
So
See
Esther
y'all
was a
next week.
villain. Esther was a villain.
Wow.
Bye, y'all.
I'm ending.